Hi everyone, I'm Callie, and this is Cheer Yoga for the York County Libraries in South Carolina. So today, the flow is going to be very focused on flexibility in the legs. I would recommend any ages anywhere from 11 to 18, but really anybody who's willing to work hard and wants to work on flexibility. So without further ado, let's get going. Roll out your mat and I'll see you there. Let's begin in a comfortable, easy seated position or crisscross applesauce. Feel your sits bones rooted down. Try to sit up nice and tall. Maybe roll your shoulders up to your ears and exhale the shoulders down the back. Doing that again, inhaling the shoulders up as high as you can get them and exhaling down the back. Good. Take your fingertips out to the sides, just barely touching the floor, and inhale your arms up, hands come together. Exhale your arms out to the sides and down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Good. Keep your right hand down. Inhale your left arm up and lean over to the right. So really think about crunching up the right side body and expanding the whole left side, reaching up and out through the left fingertips. Holding the pose, but not the breath, so keep breathing. And then come on back up to center. Take your left hand down, inhale your right arm up, and lean over to the left. Again, thinking about the whole left side of your body crunching up while the right side expands, reaching up and out, creating space, breathing deeply. Good. Inhale back to center, reach up with both hands. Take an easy twist to the right. Left hand comes to right knee, right hand behind you. Every inhale, you reach up through the crown of your head, like sitting up tall, and every exhale, you look over the back shoulder. So staying in the easy twist, but breathing deeply, using your exhales to help you twist. And come on back to center on an inhale, reach up with both hands, easy twist to the left. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale to sit up tall in the twist. Exhale to look over your back shoulder. Holding your twist and breathing deeply. And come on back to center. Inhale to reach up. Take your right hand down to the side. Come back to leaning over to the right, reaching up and out with the left fingertips. But this time, bend your left elbow and take your hand to the back of your head, like the base of your skull, and then push your head back into your arm. So what you should feel is you should feel that left elbow reaching up towards the sky. You should feel a nice stretch along your left arm, right into the left armpit area, really stretching the side body. And then go ahead and release that left hand down, right arm over for that side stretch, and then bend the right elbow, take your right hand to the base of your skull, push your head back into your hand, right elbow reaches up, a nice stretch in that arm and shoulder. Good. Now bring both hands in front of your legs and round your back a lot. Tuck your chin into your chest. Close your eyes if you can and breathe deeply. You should feel a lot of sensations in your back, and that's good. Just think about those sensations. Notice each one of them. And now, if you would, let's go ahead and come over our legs into tabletop position, hands and knees. So hands are right under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to run through some cat-cows just to further warm up your spine and your back. So it's an exhale to arch your back like an angry cat. Tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin under, and then inhale to the opposite. Drop your belly, lift your tailbone up, lift your gaze up. Exhale, you round your back, push everything away from the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your back. Tuck your tailbone in, tuck your chin in. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. And if you want to go through a couple more of those, you can do that. And when you're ready, we're going to lift your knees up off the mat. Just hover them just like an inch off the mat. And then go ahead and push your hips all the way back up. Send them up and back for down dog. Good. Your gaze is now at your feet, and you can pedal out your legs here. And staying right here in down dog, rise up to your toes. And on an exhale, sink your heels back down towards the ground. Good. Now reach up behind you with your right leg, reaching your right heel as high as you can. Look up at your hands and step that foot forward, trying to get it in between your hands. Now, if it doesn't get there, which often it doesn't, you just pick up one of your hands, grab onto that ankle, and take it up to the top of your mat. Now, with both your hands in front, framing that front foot, go ahead and just bend and straighten that front knee. Bending and straightening. Good. And now keep the knee bent. Your back heel is going to stay lifted. Really feel the mat beneath your feet. Squeeze your legs. Look out in front of you. And then rise up, reach up, crescent pose. Good. Breathing right here. We'll move nice and slow through this the first time on both sides. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, spin your back heel down. Arms come down straight out from your shoulders. Warrior two. Your hips are open to the side. Look down at your front knee. You want to see some toes on the inside of your front knee. So push that front knee open towards the back. See if you can bend a little deeper into that front knee. And then straighten the front leg. Reach up with your right hand, down with your left hand. Look up and maybe even lean back behind you. Reverse triangle. Good. Keep the legs straight, but bring your arms back down so that they come straight out from your shoulders in a T. Good. And then reach forward with the right hand until you can't reach anymore. And then right arm goes down, maybe lands on your shin or on the block if you have that. Reach up with the left hand, stacking shoulder over shoulder. If you can look up. Sometimes that makes you lose balance, so just do it slowly, carefully. Breathing right here, doing great. And then windmill your left hand down. Both hands are going to frame that front foot now. Your left hip is going to kind of come forward, and go ahead and just step in maybe 6 inches or even a foot with the back foot. Step in a little bit. Both sets of toes are facing forward. The back sets of toes are a little bit out to the side. You're in pyramid pose, also called intense pose. So if you're feeling a lot happening in the legs, you're doing it right. Breathing right here, letting the crown of your head hang down if you can. And then walk your hands over to the left until you come to the side of your mat. Make sure your toes are both sets of toes are facing the side of the mat. And let your head hang down, wide open A. And now keep walking your hands over to the left until you're all the way to the back of your mat in a low lunge back here. So, and just start with bending and straightening your left leg. Yeah, just bending and straightening. So we're going to do that flow again on this side, facing this direction. You got this. All right, pause when your knee is bent, when that left knee is bent. The back heel stays lifted. Squeeze your legs. Look out in front of you and then rise up, reach up, crescent pose. Good. Breathing right here. Try to pull your core in tight. Tuck your tailbone in beneath you. Relax your shoulders. Big inhale. On your exhale, spin your back heel down. Arms come straight out from your shoulders. Warrior two. Hips are open to the side. Front knee is deeply bent. Knee is pulling open behind you so you can see some toes on the inside of knee. And then straighten the left leg. Reach up with the left arm. Reach behind you. Reverse triangle. And then coming back up. Keep both legs straight. Arms come straight out from your shoulders again. And then reach back behind you with that left arm. Reaching with the left arm until you can reach no more. And then left hand down. Right arm up. Stacking shoulder over shoulder. Triangle. Breathing deeply. And now windmill the right hand down so that the hands frame the left foot. Step in with that back foot for pyramid pose or intense pose. Hips are trying to square off to the back of the mat. Breathing into your legs, inviting your legs to get a little bit more flexible here. And now walk your hands over to the right. Toes, both sets of toes are pointing to the side of the mat for your wide open A. Grab onto opposite elbows, let your head hang down in between your arms, and just a gentle rock back and forth. Good, now walk your hands all the way up to the top of your mat. Plant your hands down on either side of that front foot and step back to down dog. You can pedal out your legs here, shake your head yes, shake your head no. And let's flow that out one more time. We'll move maybe a little bit faster since you know the flow. Trust yourself. You've made a muscle memory. And I'll walk you through it. So let's start with the opposite leg this time. So reach your left leg up behind you, reaching the left heel to the sky. Look up at your hands and step that foot forward in between your hands. Remember, you can reach down, grab onto it, step it forward if you need to. So get steady on your feet, your back heel stays lifted, and when you're ready, rise up, reach up, crescent. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, spin your back heel down for warrior two. Hips open up to the side wall, arms straight out from your shoulders. And then straighten your front leg, reach up with that left arm, reach behind you, reverse triangle. And then keeping the legs straight, bring the arms back down, straight out from your shoulders. Reach forward with the left arm until you can reach no more, and then left hand comes down maybe to your shin, or maybe you just hover that hand. Right arm up, trying to stack shoulder over shoulder. And you can look up only if you feel really steady, okay? Otherwise, look down. Breathe deeply. Windmill your right arm down to frame your front foot. Step forward a little bit with that right leg, with that back leg. Pyramid pose. Really pull your right hip forward, push your right hip back. That's just like a subtle change. Like you'll just barely, I wouldn't be able to see you if I was in the room with you. I wouldn't be able to see you do that. So you really got to figure that out in your own body. Breathe deeply into this intense pose. And then walk your hands over to the right for your wide open A. So both sets of toes point to the side wall. Take your right hand, place it down right in front of your face. And then without moving your lower body at all, so really stabilize your legs, stabilize your hips, don't move them at all, and reach out to the side with the left arm. And then up, only as far as you can until your legs want to move. Breathing deeply right here. Maybe you can look up at your left fingers. And then bring the left hand down. Let's put the left hand down where the right hand was. And again, really squeeze your legs, squeeze your hips. Don't move them at all. And then reach out to the side with the right hand. And then up, only as far as you can until your lower body wants to move. Look at your right fingertips. Breathing deeply. And releasing that right arm down. And now walk both hands to the back of your mat, framing your right foot at the back of your mat. That back heel lifts up. Squeeze your legs, get steady on your feet, and rise up, reach up into crescent pose. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, spin your back heel down, arms straight out from your shoulders, warrior two. Look at that front knee, see if you can bend a little deeper into it. And then straighten the front knee, reach up with the right hand, reverse triangle, reach behind you, stretching into your side body. And then bring your arms straight out from your shoulders, reach back, reach with that right hand until you can reach no more. And then right arm down, left arm up, trying to stack shoulder over shoulder, only looking up if you feel really balanced here. And now windmill your left arm down so that your hands are framing your right foot, your hips face forward, step in with the back foot a little bit, step in. And remember to pull that left hip forward while you push the right hip back. That should really amp up the intensity. Breathe deeply. And now walk your hands over to the left, both toes face to the left for that walk. Breathing into your wide open A. Walk your hands over to the left. And walk your hands over to the right. Good. Walk your hands back to center. Rise up halfway. Reach behind you and interlace your fingers on top of your tailbone. Straighten your arms. That'll raise you up a bit. That's fine. Take a big inhale and then exhale. Fold down just as much as you can. The knuckles can come up towards the ceiling. They can come up over your head. Any movement you need here is just fine. And then take another big inhale. Rise up halfway. Slowly and in control, release your hands. Let them come down to the ground and walk your hands over to the top of your mat, framing your front leg. And then press into the mat to step back to down dog. Go ahead and lower your knees to the mat. Take your knees nice and wide. Flip your feet over, hips back to heels for child's pose. Slowing down your breath here. Maybe reminding yourself what your intention was. And then walk both hands over to the left. Keep your head in between your arms. Another nice side stretch here. And then walk your hands over to the right. All the way over, keeping your head in between your arms. Keeping your breath nice and slow and steady. Coming back to center now. Rise back up to that tabletop, hands and knees. Yeah, take your right leg straight out behind you and then cross the right knee behind the left knee. I really try to get my knees in the center of the mat here. And then you're going to take your feet super wide and then you're going to walk your hands back towards you to snuggle your booty in between your heels. See if you can get both sides of your booty down on the mat in between your feet, not sitting on them. If you have tight hips, you're going to feel a lot happening in your hips right here. This is called cow face legs. Now, if you'd like to add the arm stretch in here, take your right arm up, bend at the elbow, and just take a nice tricep stretch. You've probably done this one before. And if you'd like to take cow face arms, let go of that left hand, keep your right elbow where it is, and reach back with the left hand. Your thumb is down when you reach back, and then you bring it behind your back, you reach up, palm is facing away, and you see if you can find your fingers. It's really hard to find your fingers if you've never done this before, so it's totally okay just to grab onto your shirt right here behind you. Just try to have your right elbow facing up and try to be looking straight forward, because what you're going to want to do is be looking down because you're trying to get your hands, but we don't want to do that to the neck. So make sure you're looking straight forward. Deep breaths here, about 20 more seconds. Good. Slowly and in control, release your hands first, and then walk the hands back out in front of you, and then pick up that right leg out. Put it out behind you, and then set it down back to that tabletop. And right away, take the left leg out behind you, cross the left knee behind the right knee. Trying to stack those knees, take your feet nice and wide, and then walk your hands back, setting your booty down inside of your feet. Try to get both sides of your booty down. Your tendency is going to be to lean to one side, okay? Try not to let that happen. Setting your booty down inside your legs, and then if you want to add the arms, reach up with the left, the left arm this time. Bend at the elbow and reach up, grab onto that elbow. Take that tricep stretch first just to get ready. And then take the right arm out to the side. Palm is behind you, thumb down. And then reach behind you and up your back. See if you can find your fingers. Inevitably, one side is tighter than the other, so it's totally normal. And just notice which side was your tighter side. So grab onto your shirt, your fingertips, or maybe you just want to go back to that tricep stretch. About 20 seconds here. And releasing your hands, walking your hands out in front of you, unwinding the left leg, coming back to tabletop, and the knees nice and wide, hips back to heels, child's pose. And come on back up to tabletop, tuck your toes under, and lift up and back for down dog. Lift your right leg high into the air, three-legged down dog, then look up at your hands and step that foot forward in between your hands. Walk your left knee back. We're coming to like a really, really low, deep lunge here. I want you to feel something on the front of the left hip. And then push your hips back to straighten your front leg. And we're just kind of flowing back and forth, like bending that front leg and then pushing it back. And grab your block if you have one, or like a really big pillow or something like that. And you're just going to start inching your right heel forward, trying to reach towards splits with your legs right now. Now, don't worry about it if you can't do a split. I actually can't either yet. So that's why I'm taking my block. I'm going to stick it right under my right hip until I'm in a comfortable enough position where I can stay here, because we're going to stay right here for about 1.5 minutes. Now listen, if you're not as deep into it as me, I've been there, and you have to kind of hold yourself up with your arms. It's not very comfortable. And maybe you're lower than me. Maybe you're closer into splits, or you are doing splits. Wherever you are, we're going to try to hold this for 1.5 minutes. If at some point you feel like you can't do it anymore, that's fine. You can just come on out of it. But otherwise, try anything you like. Hands on hips, prayer hands at heart center, breathing deeply, right? Really try to focus on your belly breath. Still flexing the right toes back towards your face.
pressing in through the pinky side edge of your back foot. Try to relax your shoulders. And you can even try a little twist side to side here if you want. Turning to one side and then the other. But 1.5 minutes is a really good amount of time to make some change in a stretch. So that's why we're staying here this long. And now you can bring your hands back to the floor if they weren't there already. And then just gently walking your back knee forward, dragging your front heel back. Just really, really gently coming out of this splits pose. And then tuck your back toes under, lift that back knee and step back to down dog. Right away, lift the left heel high, look at your hands, step your foot forward in between your hands. Drop that back knee down and walk the back knee back, looking for that stretch in the front of the right hip this time. Getting super duper deep. And just kind of hang out here for a breath and then push your hips back to straighten your front leg for that half splits, and then bend your front knee again. Push your hips back, half splits. Bend your front knee and then start inching that front heel forward. And you can straighten that leg as much as you want to, really just inching down to whatever our version of splits is today. And you might notice that one side is a little more flexible than the other side. And if that's the case, that's fine. Just notice that. So again, we're here for about 1.5 minutes. So this is a good time when working on our flexibility to think about areas of your life that maybe you need to be a little more flexible in. Is it the way that you plan to do things? Is it the way you want to spend your time? There's always areas of our life that we can work on and get better at. So maybe as you're in this pose breathing, maybe something will come to your mind and maybe not. But again, you can take that twist side to side if you did that on the other side. And then take your hands down in front of you. And tuck your back toes and start inching the back knee forward, pulling that front heel back. And then tuck your back toes, lift that back knee and step back to down dog. Then drop your knees down, push your hips back to heels. Slide your feet out from underneath you and go ahead and come down to lying down on your back. Finding your version of Savasana today. Feet can be mat distance apart and falling open. Palms are up. Snuggle your shoulders in beneath you. And try to let go of any ways that you're controlling or tensing your body, rather. Try to let go of anywhere. Do a little body scan. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. And remember that true health begins with your thoughts. Thinking about comfort, strength, flexibility, and youthfulness will attract those qualities into your life and body. Your work is to notice and change your thoughts and move them in the direction of health and happiness. So take a big breath in through your nose, open up your mouth and sigh it out. Say, ah. And do that one more time. Take a big breath in And sigh it out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And go ahead and roll over to one side, bring your hands in front of you, press in through your hands to rise up to an easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me. It's an honor, and I hope to see you back here again. Have a great day. Namaste.